Do you know that many people believe their survival depends entirely upon the external world? They believe they must adapt perfectly to everything around them. They spend their limited time and energy trying to meet expectations that were created by strangers. They constantly worry about what others say or think about them. This relentless cycle of overthinking causes millions of individuals to fall into deep depression, isolation, or severe mental illness. They feel like small, helpless actors trapped inside a massive, permanent theater where the audience is always judging them. This perspective is a complete illusion because it gets the basic structure of reality backwards. Have you ever wondered where the world you experience actually lives? It does not exist as a solid reality outside of your mind. Your eyes process the passing light, your brain interprets the ambient sounds, and your conscious mind creates the entire experience. This universe, as far as you are concerned, only exists because you are here to experience it. You are not a character trapped inside the world's movie. The world is a movie playing inside your own consciousness. When you fully understand this truth, the heavy weight of outside opinions instantly disappears. To understand your true value, you must look at a concept from a famous Japanese book called The Courage to be Disliked by Ichiro Kashimi, a renowned philosopher, and Fumitake Koga, an award-winning writer. They introduce the psychological principles of Alfred Adler, a pioneer who taught that we can choose our own reality. One of their most liberating ideas is called the separation of tasks. This principle states that almost all human suffering comes from trying to control things that belong to other people. How do you know whose task a specific problem is? You simply ask yourself who will ultimately face the direct consequence of the choice. If someone decides to talk behind your back, criticize your progress, or leave your life, that choice belongs entirely to them. You have zero control over their thoughts, so you must let them keep that burden. Your only task is to exist safely, protect your internal peace, and move forward. When you get deeply depressed because of outsiders, you are picking up their tasks and carrying them in your mind. This heavy burden will break your back every single time. True mental freedom means having the courage to be disliked by those around you. It means looking at someone's harsh disapproval and realizing it has no entry visa into your world. If they choose to leave, let them go. Your sun still rises, your breath still flows, and your universe remains completely intact. To build an unbreakable internal core, you must also understand how to manage your mental energy. Manson, who wrote the famous book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, explains that every human being has a very limited amount of care to give in their lifetime. If you choose to care about every single comment, every minor criticism, and every outsider who passes by, you will quickly bankrupt your mind. You will find yourself constantly exhausted, deeply anxious, and emotionally broke. True maturity and strength happen when you become highly selective about what actually matters to you. Manson explains that the secret to mental health is not about being indifferent to absolutely everything around you. Instead, it is about being entirely comfortable with being different from the crowd. You must consciously choose to give your limited care only to the things that are truly yours to manage. You must save your energy for your own health, your own peace, and your own slow progress. When you sit in a dark room overthinking about an outsider, you are giving away your valuable energy for free. You are treating their random actions as if they are the center of your universe. You must realize that you do not have enough mental currency to waste on people who do not matter to your existence. By radically cutting off your attention from the things you cannot control, you instantly reclaim your power. You stop letting strangers dictate the value of your days, and you keep your wealth of care for yourself. We constantly see young millionaires on social media, colleagues getting promoted, and friends who seem to have perfect lives. It is incredibly easy to look at them and believe that you are lagging behind. When you are struggling with depression, even simple daily tasks can feel like climbing a mountain. If you learn a new skill or heal from past trauma slower than others, you might feel like a complete failure. This painful comparison is a thief that only steals your joy. Since your world exists because you exist, your timeline is the only clock that actually matters. There is no universal deadline that you are missing. If it takes you 2 years to learn a system that someone else learned in 2 months, you have still succeeded. Slow growth that is authentic builds deep, unshakable roots. Fast growth that is rushed just to please outsiders creates a fragile structure that collapses during the first storm. Tara Brach, a famous psychologist and author of Radical Acceptance, explains how to embrace our lives with true compassion. She introduces a practice called the sacred pause, which means stopping our frantic actions to accept ourselves exactly as we are. If your current pace is just surviving today, then you are doing things completely right. You do not owe the outside world a rushed version of your life. Once you absorb the truth that your existence is the source of your reality, your relationship with yourself changes completely. You stop being an emotional sponge that sits passively and absorbs the negativity of outsiders. Instead, you become a powerful radiator that projects strength from the inside out. You realize that your number one priority in this life is to keep your internal core safe and steady. If your core is fine, the whole world you project will eventually become fine. This perspective requires you to build a fortress around your peace of mind. When someone treats you poorly, you must not overthink it or let it destroy your night. You must realize they're just a misbehaving guest in your awareness. You have the ultimate power to revoke their permission to disturb your home. You must stop begging people to stay, and you must stop twisting yourself into knots for their approval. Prioritizing your own mental health, your rest, and your slow progress is not selfish. It is a fundamental law of nature because you cannot light a room if your own bulb is smashed. When you treat yourself with radical kindness, you bring your own beautiful weather into every room you enter. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to help our channel grow so other viewers who need this message can find it. If you are watching this today while carrying the agonizing thought of giving up because of what outsiders did, I want you to drop that heavy weight right now. Remember who holds the true power in this reality. Many people mistakenly believe that disappearing will somehow erase the pain or make the actions of bad people go away. That is a dangerous lie. The harsh reality is that the people who hurt you and the opinions that crush you will still be around. Hurting yourself changes absolutely nothing about their behavior, but it costs you everything. When you choose to cut yourself off entirely from toxic people and their harsh opinions, your world still stays perfectly intact. You can still rebuild your life and learn to live happily on your own terms. Do not pull the plug on your unique consciousness just to escape the temporary noise of temporary people. When you leave, they remain, but your entire beautiful universe is gone forever. The outsiders are just guests passing through your life, but you are the permanent home. Let them think what they want, and let them move as fast as they want. Step off their frantic track, look inward, and care for yourself as the most precious thing in existence. Be strong internally, protect your core, and let your light radiate outward. Thank you for watching.